Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be all about a natural DIY hair mask you can do at home that helps your hair grow, it helps it strengthen, and also helps your scalp. Today's recipe for your hair is flaxseed gel and rosemary water. Now, rosemary water I'm not going to highlight too much about because I've talked about it many times on my channel before, and I do have lots of recipes for that, so I will link it also in the description box. The main star of the show is flaxseed. So why would you want to put these little tiny seeds onto your hair? Well, it's not really the seeds you're putting onto your hair, it's a gel that you make from the seeds itself. Why is flaxseed so important for your hair? Now, flaxseed is a natural organic seed that when you cook it, it creates like this slimy type texture gel, and that gel itself has omega-3s and vitamins in it. Omega-3s and vitamins help to grow your hair, and it also helps to prevent further damage and helps to soothe the scalp and moisturize it in a natural type way. So with that being said, let's just get into how to make and apply this DIY hair mask. You need organic whole flaxseed. I just look for the USDA organic. You also need rosemary. The store I go to didn't have just rosemary. They had this like poultry type herb blend, but it had enough rosemary in it, so I'm gonna use that. You're gonna need a measuring cup for the flaxseed, and then a container like this. I will link it where to find it, and then also a mister spray bottle. This mists really good. Also, you're gonna need 2 pots. I like to use the smaller pot for the flaxseed gel, and then the rosemary water I put in the larger pot. Laid out my ingredients, and actually the rosemary was exactly the amount that I needed to use, and the flaxseed is around 1/4 cup, so you want to use around that amount to make about a week's supply of flaxseed gel. And then I also have my purified water here. You don't have to use purified water, but I just filter it. The rosemary into this pot, and then I'm going to throw the flaxseed into this pot and then cover it with water. The water depends on how much you want. You just don't want to put too much water because it's not going to really be as potent. I make around this amount for about 4 or 5 branches or stems of rosemary. And then for the flaxseed, same thing. I cover it almost to the top. I have the rosemary on high heat to bring to a boil, and then I'm going to shut it off so it can steep and put my flaxseed to a boil. This is very important to keep an eye on this though, because when it comes to a boil, you want to completely shut it off and remove it from the heat. Okay, flaxseed is boiling. Again, turn off the heat right away and take it off. It's really important to take it off the heat and let it rest. That's how it's going to get that gel-like texture. It's going to just thicken over time. Just honestly wait maybe like an hour and a half for it to cool down. Okay, so now my rosemary is boiling, so I'm going to go ahead and shut off the heat. This is where you want to let the rosemary steep, because it's going to turn a darker color as you just let it sit there. It's almost like tea. Just think of it as like an herbal tea. It will steep. So I'm just gonna leave this in the hot water and let both of the flaxseed and the rosemary cool down before I transfer it. So the flaxseed has completely cooled down. It does sink to the bottom. The consistency you get is like a gel, thicker, goopier consistency. I'm gonna go ahead and transfer it to this bottle right here. Just transferred the flaxseed gel into this squeeze bottle for the hair treatment. Now again, I am going to put this in the fridge, and this is what I'm left with. So I'm actually left with quite a bit. So I transfer this into another container because I will use it, and I'll just keep refilling this bottle. But I'm just show you how easy it is to separate the gel from the seeds once you let it completely cool. You might have like some stragglers, like a few seeds that go in there, but for the most part you don't even need to strain it because all of the seeds just go to the bottom. You guys want to see what the gel itself looks like with the seeds? It gets super clumpy like that, but there's really honestly not much you can do with the seeds after you've boiled them. The next thing we're going to do is transfer this rosemary water into the spray bottle. So it did sit for a while and completely cooled down, completely filled up this bottle, so it's ready to go. I am going to also put this in the fridge. So with the extra water, I do save as well because I do like rosemary hair rinses, and I'm not going to waste any of this goodness, you know. So I will, before I wash my hair, pour this all over to let it sit for like a strengthening treatment. And I just don't recommend putting the rosemary leaves into the water to save it, just because it can grow mold. So I just keep the water.
All right, so those treatments are going into the fridge, and I will see you when I apply the
hair mask has been chilling in the fridge, so I'm going to show you how I apply it. Now you want to do this on dry hair because you're going to obviously wet it with the rosemary spray. Do this on my wash days, meaning when I wash my hair. This is what I'm going to do. Want to brush out your hair to make sure there is no knots. Take the rosemary spray. This is going to dampen your hair and kind of open it up because their hair is porous for the flaxseed to go on top. So I just, with this spray bottle, start spraying down my whole hair. And you don't have to get it soaked, like dripping wet, but you want it at least damp and evenly saturated with the rosemary. And I also like to spray it on my roots right here because rosemary does help stimulate hair growth as well. So I'm just going to do the other side. I'm going to apply the flaxseed, and this is where these type of containers come in handy because they distribute it so evenly and it's so easy. I used to like use a bowl and just, you know, use my hands to put on the mask, but this makes a world of difference. So I'm going to start with my roots first because I do want to condition, and this does help dry scalp. With the applicator, I'm just going to push it through the roots. This also makes applying the hair mask so much more quicker because when you squeeze it, you see like it comes out. So you can just control it way better of how much you need in certain places. Then put it all down my hair like this. And then the ends. Usually like to keep it on 40 minutes to an hour, but since this is not an oil treatment, it will harden your hair, but it's not going to leave a residue, whereas if you touch anything, it's going to get everywhere. So you can just tie back your hair, and I clip it back with a clip, and voila. Let this hair treatment just bake in my hair, work its magic. But I will come back to show you probably tomorrow when my hair is completely air dried and the natural texture. So the biggest difference I've seen by doing this mask is my hair strengthened. Like it wasn't breaking as much when I styled it. It was growing back nice and thick, and also my scalp felt healthy without dandruff. It totally took care of like the dry, itchy scalp problem I was having. This is the next day after I have completely let my hair air dry, and then I have styled it with heat. I straightened it out, but my hair feels so strong and it feels so fresh. Like my scalp feels so soothed. Now I do have to say too, it's helping my hair grow. It's almost to my hips, and the ends don't look as fried as they used to be and as thin at the bottom. It actually really does help to thicken the ends. I have layers in my hair too, so when I was straightening it out, my hair looked like so scraggly at the bottom, but now I feel like the ends are thickening now that the layers are growing out. Also too, what flaxseed gel does is it helps to bring back the natural pattern of your hair. It doesn't matter if you have straight, curly, wavy hair. You're gonna see after you've washed it and let it air dry, the natural texture of your hair will start to slowly come back. I wasn't seeing much hair growth at all before I started to do this mask. Around my hairline, I was noticing that the growth there was really thinning. It did really help with those problem areas of where I had a little bit of thinning, and it helps to regrow it and make it thick again. So overall, I can say is that this hair mask really saved the day as far as thickening and strengthening my hair. So that was it for the DIY hair mask. Please let me know what you think in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.